Now, having been in this field for a long time, I have a lot of great toys. Humans like toys. I have a lot of great toys. Have all sorts of instruments that project sound into the body. We sell tuning forks. I play with Tibetan bowls. I have a whole bunch of CDs that do marvelous and amazing things. But I must tell you, my friends, that we all have the most extraordinary tool for healing within us. It doesn't require electricity or batteries. The owner's manual is relatively easy to use, and it's free. And this, of course, is our voice. So we are today going to be learning to, if you don't already know, and I'll be doing just an enhancement of it, of using our voice as an instrument for healing. Now, I'm not talking about you getting up in front of a group and singing Strangers in the Night or whatever you like. That's entertainment, and that's great. What I'm talking about is using your own self-created sounds to change your vibrational shifts, and that's called entrainment, okay? And you don't need to be a trained singer. You don't need actually to take vocal lessons. All you need is a voice and the realization that you can use your voice to shift your frequencies. And part of that has to do with something I'm going to talk about in a minute, which is intent. I'm going to backtrack a few years ago. I'm going to backtrack enough years ago so that if I mention a DOS operating system, you all know that this wasn't yesterday. And I was sitting in front of my computer with a DOS operating system working on a book that was based upon a master's thesis I did from Lesley University researching the uses of sound and music for healing. And I literally had a stack of papers about yo big with all, stacked on each other with all sorts of different systems of using sound to resonate the chakras or sound to resonate the organs. And one doctor would use one set of frequencies for one particular organ, and another doctor would use a different set of frequencies for the same organ, and they'd both be claiming success. Or you'd have one spiritual master giving you a particular mantra for one chakra, and another spiritual master giving you the same mantra for a different chakra, or a different mantra for the same chakra that the other guy did. And I was sitting there in a state of intellectual angst. My head was in my hands, and I said, how can this be? I know that this all got to make sense, but it doesn't. There's something more than frequency, because people are having success and something's going on. And I distinctly heard a voice, scary. It was either Lenny Bruce or Shama L. And the voice said, it is not only the frequency of the sound that creates its effect. It is the intention of the person creating the sound that creates the effect and is received by the person hearing, listening to the sound. And I wrote down these words. Frequency plus intent equals healing. Now, please, by gosh and by golly, frequency plus intent equals healing. Well, we talked about what frequency was, right? The cycles per second. Intent is the energy behind the sound, okay? Sound carries our consciousness. It carries its intent. How many of you have seen What the Bleep? You all remember this man by the name of, in the subway there's a scene with this woman who's sort of a guide showing these water molecules. And if we had more time, I have all sorts of extraordinary slides of different things, including Dr. Masaru Emoto's water molecule slides. And basically what he did was he found that he took water, would basically freeze it, then look through it at using a dark field microscope, and as it crystallized, he would find extraordinary shapes. If the water were healthy, normal, shall we say pristine, it would look as though it were a snowflake, creating incredible geometry. But if it were polluted, it would look like mud. And one of the things that he did, first he dealt with just polluted water versus non-polluted water. healthy water, water from Lourdes, water from fresh lakes, etc. Then he found music, and he tried that with music, and he found all sorts of interesting phenomena. Then he had simply people write on the, he would take bottles of water that was distilled, fairly innocuous, and he would have people write things on them. If they wrote love or gratitude or that type of thing, the water would look like a beautiful snowflake. And if you wrote, "You make me sick, I want to kill you," the water would look like mud. Once again, showing the power of intentionality. My favorite slide, and I don't know if you've seen this, is water from the Fujiwara Dam that looks like mud. Ugh. And then he had a priest chant over it. Happened to have been a Buddhist prayer that he was chanting for an hour. And then he photographed the same water, and it looks pristine. So all this polluted water, this mud, all of a sudden looked like a snowflake through the power of sound, through the power of intentionalized sound. And if you think about how much of our bodies is sound, if you think about how much of this planet is water, and our bodies, water and sound, okay? The planet is sound, the planet is water. And you think about how we have a choice, how with our consciousness, with our sound, we can change this. I mean, there's a reason why prayers are most of the time vocalized. There is a reason.